Good evening. I am going to be in Dubai in the last week of February. My team wants to do an event between 24th and 25th of February. There are going to be two events, one on the 24th and one on 25th. Those desirous of attend the event, not only from Dubai, Abu Dhabi and Sharjah, but from the rest of Emirates, can contact my team at the phone number given below. The WhatsApp number is also given below. There's an email ID and there's a Google form. You can use any of these methods to connect us, and my team would be glad to help you. See you in Dubai.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. In the continuing saga of ITC and the story of BAT, I thought I will talk a little bit about the history of this, and it makes an interesting read or listen the story behind ITC and BAT. It's a famous story in the Bible, the story of the prodigal son. In essence, what the story is there's a father who has two sons, and he splits the inheritance between both of them, which the father grants, and the younger son departs and spends all his money and squanders it away. Then soon there's hardship and there's a famine in the land, and he finds himself in poverty, and he's in the task of feeding pigs, which is considered beneath his stature to feed pigs, and he's finally even craving to eat the pigs' food. And he comes to repentance, this younger son, and he realizes his wayward ways, and he returns home only to be asked by one of the father's servants, "Who are you?" Because it's been so long. On seeing his son, the father is full of compassion to the returning son, embraces him and kisses him. And son confesses of his sin and says, "Oh, father, and I'm so sorry for what I've done." And the father gives him the best robes and puts a ring on him and puts sandals on him and prepares a feast in celebration of returning of his son. While the older son, who's been working on the fields, who's not done all this, who's invested and who's been very diligent, is very slighted by the reaction of the father. The father explains to the older son, he has everything, but it's important to celebrate the younger son's return because of what is lost has been found. Story of forgiveness, I guess. Well, it's a similar story. We haven't reached that part of the conclusion in the British American Tobacco and the ITC story. It rewinds the clock way back into 94, 96, when BAT was trying to take complete control over ITC and to hold the bull by its horns, as they say, while ITC fought back, and ITC managed to succeed in that battle and keep BAT's claws off its back, and they went down another road. Like the older son, ITC realized that tobacco was a dying industry, that it realized it was doing more harm to society than good, and it had a very visionary leader at that time, which all of you know about. And if you don't know about, I suggest you go Google that and read about that visionary leader. And it took lots of its earnings from tobacco and started pivoting away from tobacco. It didn't want to be known as the Indian Tobacco Company anymore, and just took the ITC moniker and it moved on, and it flourished. He went into papers, they went into other things and hotels, and the company diversified and blossomed, and it's become something of a giant juggernaut in India. And globally, it's a recognized brand. And most people in the younger generation don't even know that ITC makes tobacco nowadays. That is a cigarette company, because ITC has pivoted its brand so well into FMCG and hotels and other industries. Though only cigarette makes 35% of its business today, it has managed to remove tobacco from its brand and move forward. Well, the same was true with BAT. During the same period of time when ITC saw huge surging profits from tobacco, even BAT saw surging profit in tobacco. And what did BAT do? BAT did more of the same. Though being more knowledgeable in what tobacco is doing to a human being, and being knowledgeable in the problems of tobacco, and even having the foresight of seeing where health policies will go in the future, and the lack of leadership in BAT did not take them on the route which ITC did. They did more of the same. They reinvested and doubled down on tobacco because they were stuck with investors clamoring for profit, investors worrying about year-on-year earnings and the call report, and the management fell down the rabbit hole of doubling down on tobacco and going around the world, like even in Turkey, investing in more and more tobacco, and all over US, investing more and more in tobacco, thinking tobacco will be there forever. This policy will be something they'll shake off and consume tobacco as they always have. But we know what tobacco does now, and we all despise tobacco and tobacco brands and tobacco companies. And we ourselves as a society is trying to remove tobacco from our society and to move away from it. Even the latest saga which they tried, electronic cigarettes, has turned out to be futile and turned to be worse than tobacco, smoking natural tobacco. And now there's been a series of bans across the globe preventing people from consuming electronic tobacco, or at least a disposable vape tobacco to start with. I'm sure eventually even regular tobacco, electronic cigarettes will be removed. And it's not the golden coin that was going to save the tobacco industry or smokers from addiction and health hazards. And even they tried to prop it up saying it is a legitimate way of quitting tobacco. Even that seemed to have failed. All this has meant that BAT's bets have all not paid off, and they have written down most of their tobacco earnings in US. And again, they have to serve their masters, their investors, and the investors are whipping them. The Wall Street is whipping BAT, and BAT now has no choice. The company which they are so desperately trying to gain complete control over, so they can fork much money out of it much as they could. Now they're in a position where they're sitting and liquidating their most prized possession in their arsenal. And it's a slow chipping away. Yes, Anand did say that a lot of people thought BAT was going to drop all of it. BAT wouldn't want to do that. They would like to hold on to it much as possible. And as investors are clamoring and the ship is sinking, bit by bit, chip by chip, it will eventually fall off. Eventually, I'm sure in my lifetime, BAT's holding of ITC will drop down to something very negligible. It's just the starting. I know as investors, as value investors, and we all want opportunities, we would love to see BAT fork out all of it and RBI approve all of it. And we see ITC, we go down all the way, and we all jump on ITC boat, and then we see it bounce back in 5 years' time to even bigger heights. Yeah, that would be nice. But it won't be that kind of a story. It will be rather of a slow and a methodical melting of, let's say, glacial ice, where you see years of warning about climate change and rising sea levels. Human beings don't do anything about it. Same way it's going to be for BAT, the saga of BAT. So I thought this would be interesting. As an investor, value investor, that too sitting in India, and you're looking only at Indian markets, I would say keep ITC for a very long time on your radar. Every time the market seems to give you an opportunity to take ITC into great consideration and sip, as Anand says, in different coffee levels, and keep sipping every opportunity you get. And I strongly can't stress this more than enough. If anything, you spend a good next 10 years sipping on ITC, you'll be very thankful that you did this sipping 20 years from now. If you're in your 30s and 35s like Albin and the rest of my group here is entering that stage in life, and you're thinking about what will I do when I reach Anand's stage in life, having a huge portfolio of ITC shares in your kitty would be very fruitful at that point of time. Because trust me, ITC is going to be something much larger 20 years from now. That is why I wanted to hit upon again, because you guys seem to be wondering, should you be investing? Should you not be investing? What should I do? How much should I do? So I hope this gives you clarity. If it hasn't, at the end of this video, I'm giving you this clarity. ITC is here to stay. BAT's loss is our gain. Every time the market corrects, keep investing in different coffee levels. This is my consideration request to you. Right? I'm not asking you to drop your family jewels into the ITC kitty right now. If you have, like I said in another video or a podcast, if you have suddenly had a windfall, I'm not asking you to dump all of it into ITC. None of that. I'm asking you to stay in different coffee range and different coffee levels and keep sipping. Every time the market gives you an opportunity where you see ITC correcting by a few percentage points, it's a time of the day for you to sip. Even today, ITC is up because everybody knows. Even when the FIIs are exiting companies, they're not busily exiting ITC because ITC is a storehouse of value right now, much like gold is. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. And I'll see you in the next one.
It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, Those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.